Well, I'm nearly done. Anyway, it was a very sad story. However, I assured him that he could be forgiven what he'd been involved in, and there was no limit to the mercy of God. And if could you maybe push that door a wee side? I don't want this. This is kind of sat critical in the end. Thank you very much. If he allowed me to pray with him to the Lord Jesus and look to his cross and his death and his love, he could leave my study forgiven. And so we shared that together, and he eventually left. A little while later, I had a letter from him and his wife, and it was postmarked from the east of Canada, and he was sharing there that he had been moved by his business, and he had now had to very short notice to go out to New Brunswick to reside, and he just said, alluding to that night, he was very thankful for it. And then he told me something that almost made my heart stop. And he said, when I told you the story of my wrongdoing and my sin, my shame, he said, if you had shown me an attitude of contempt, I would have left your study immediately. And I was going to, and I had planned the route because I knew the downtown of Vancouver, I was going to walk down to the Lions Gate Bridge and jump over, commit suicide. You have to love people, and even though you don't, of course, necessarily at all agree with what they may have done or whatever, but there's ultimately you have to have something of that. Anyway, that was the second that letter, and then some months later, maybe it's a year or so later, another letter came back from New Brunswick, and he said, "You'll be interested to know, my wife and I have joined the church here, the Baptist church here, and where we are, and actually the church has asked me to become one of our deacons." Hallelujah. And to my knowledge, he's continued on his faith and on his way. So that it's an illustration in a sense of how sin can be overcome, and we must never despair ultimately of anybody. And perhaps also as a footnote to that, you need to pray for pastors, because sometimes we have very, very difficult things to handle. But God helped in that. Now the last thing, and I'm done with this.
Before you
carry on. Oh yes, you want to say that? Sure, that's very good.
那有一天晚上呢，我刚刚讲了一对夫妻哈，那其中的那个先生呢就来见这个牧师，见这个牧师，那就讲他所犯的罪，然后布鲁斯就鼓励他说不管你犯什么样的罪，你要知道，在神面前一切的罪都会赦免，所以你可以坦然无惧的来面对这个神。所以那天晚上呢，他就跟布鲁斯分享他所犯的罪，然后事后呢，因为工作的关系，这对夫妻呢就到了东部去了，到New Brunswick 这种要怎么翻？那个东部的一个省份去了。然后到了东部省份之后呢，他就写了一封卡片给布鲁斯，他说：“我在上你的那个课的时候，那天晚上跟你分享了我心里头的罪。如果当时在那时候还在这个温哥华的话，如果知道你把我跟你讲我心里头那个罪哈，你让别人知道的话哈，我因为我很清楚温哥华，我就打算离开你的教室之后，我直接去那个石门桥，就跳下那个石门桥。那他感谢牧师，并没有把这个东西宣扬出来。然后又经过1年之后，布鲁斯又收到他的信，他说我跟我的妻子在这个东部这个省份也去了一个浸信会，然后因为这1年多以来，我还当了这个做到这个教会的一个执事。然后呢，布鲁斯在这边就要讲的是，一个神职人，当个神职人，当个牧师，你真的要有很大的爱心去包容人家一切所有的罪，而且要帮人家守得住。然后其实，每一个人其实他的罪都是可以被赦免的。然后呢，也借此也告诉各位，其实你们有空也要替做牧师的祷告， 因为牧师每天要面临，尤其在像你知道当趟那个市中心的那个什么人都有啊，那是很大的，每天都是很大的挑战，所以其实我们也应该要替牧师祷告。
The last thing, thanks Jay so much, you're brilliant. I'll just read this. This is a sweet story to end. It's going to relax a little here, but it's a lovely, lovely story. It was told actually by Scott Peck, who is a well-known author, sociologist, who wrote a number of books a wee while ago in Canada. Some of you may know them. Further along, The Road Less Travelled, The Road Less Travelled was his classic. And it comes from the Philippines. And I'll just read this out, but I think it gathers up our presentation this evening and our consideration. A little Filipino girl in some part of the Philippine Islands, I don't know. Can I just preface it by saying that probably you know that the Roman Catholic Church is particularly strong in the Philippines, and so there are many, many parts of the country where the Catholic Church is the main Christian presence. And the other thing just to say about this is, because maybe one wouldn't know this in advance, you know that the Catholics practice confession, and that in all their churches there will be opportunities for members of the congregation, whatever, to come, and it's a confidential thing. There is a masking of the visual contact with the parishioner, but they are able to share some sin, some failure, some shortcoming, and the priest will pronounce a pardon for them, affirm their pardon through Christ, and also often give them a penance to do to try and press home that they shouldn't be doing any more of this, whatever it is. So that goes on. But what is not often known is that the clergy do the same, and all their members of the clergy in the various hierarchies also do confessionals and have to present themselves to those who will listen to their penitent stories. This little girl started going into the jungle near her home, and when she came back, she told her family, and then it spread, that she had been talking with Jesus. Well, they tried to thought it would pass, but it didn't pass. She kept on doing it, and each time she came back, she said she'd been out talking with Jesus. Well, this kind of got round from the particular group around the home and the tribe there, and it passed to others, and others went, what's this? What have we got in our midst? You see, this little girl goes out and talks with Jesus. Eventually, the news of this comes back to Manila, to the centre of the Catholic Church there, and of course the bishop's a bit concerned, because I mean it would never do in the Catholic Church for these unauthorised saints to be walking about talking to Jesus. They just felt it was a little bit inappropriate. But what do they make of it? And so eventually they asked the parents to bring the wee girl up to Manila, to the papal, or the Monsignor's palace there. And so she's asked, what does she do? Well, she goes into the jungle and she talks with Jesus. And so one of the monsignors who's got a little bit of background in this, he's allocated to talk to this girl and try and see if he can, work out what's going on. But by the end of it, he says, I just can't make up my mind. He says, it's so authentic, and yet she's only a kid. I mean, he just can't manage it. So he says, I tell you what. So he gets the little girl, and he says to her, now look, you go home, and if you feel you want to go and talk to Jesus, that's fine. But next time you talk to Jesus, I want you to ask him a question. And here's the question. What are the sins that I, the Monsignor in Manila, confessed to him this last week? So we goes, okay, that's all right, off she goes. So apparently she goes off in the jungle again, and then she comes out again, and Mum and Dad bring her back up to Manila, and then the Monsignor says, now is the test. He says, right, he says, now, did you speak again to Jesus this week? Oh yes, sir, yes, I spoke to Jesus this week. And did you remember to ask him what I confessed in my confessional this last week? Oh yes, I did ask him about all these things. And And what did he say that I had done? Oh, he said, I've forgotten.
Yeah.
You maybe heard the story before, but it's a lovely story, and that's what we're talking about here. There is something infinitely greater than all of sin, and it's the mercy of God in Jesus Christ. And we're privileged to have known it and tasted it. Okay.
Okay.
Jay.
Yes. I need to. 我在这边要用这一个小故事做结尾，然后这个故事呢是比较比之前讲那个最是比较轻松的，希望各位可以比较获得正面的能量。这个是关于一个菲律宾，在菲律宾有个小女孩的故事。各位知道菲律宾是一个天主教的国家，然后呢，他们那边就有什么枢机有主教在那个地方，然后这个故事就是，你知道在那个天主教他们有个仪式哈。就是说，你每个礼拜天，你要去教会去怎么样去忏悔，去告解，就是你要跟那个神父坐在一个那个箱子里头隔的哈，然后你就跟他告解说你犯了什么样的罪呀、你什么地方不舒服过不去啊，然后那个天主教的什么神父呢就会帮你就是代替你跟神祈求神的原谅。然后呢，就是这样的，包含甚至他们这个自己的神职人员，像那个神父彼此之间都会做这种告解，彼此之间的告解。那在这个菲律宾这个小女孩呢，就有一天是她在这个菲律宾很大有很多岛，她在一个地方呢，她每天去那个郊外回来都会讲说她碰到了耶稣，而且耶稣都跟她说话。然后过一阵子这个消息就传到这个马尼拉的那个主教的这个中心，那主教中心的主教说，有这个小女孩说她每天见到耶稣哈，然后就找她来要去确认一下这个真的假的啊，然后这个小女孩就跟她父母就到了马尼拉去请到那个主教中心，然后见了这个神父啊这个主教，那主教就派人就开始去问她。然后问他就觉得说哇，这个小女孩讲的实在是很真，好像她真的跟耶稣在讲话，他也没有办法，他就必须要去确认这个是真的还是假。他说，他就跟那个小女孩讲说，就这样子，你下次再碰到耶稣的时候，你帮我问他一个问题，你问他说好，我在这个告解的时候，在上礼拜的告解，我告解了我犯了什么样的罪，然后你看你就问他这个问题，然后那小女孩说好，小女孩就回去了。回去以后呢，过一阵他就再把那小女孩叫他说，你碰到耶稣没有？他说我碰到了，我还是这样跟他讲话。他说那你还记不记得我要你问他的问题？他说我记得啊，我问他啦。问他说问那个问题就是说我到底犯了什么样的罪？那个神父就问他说，那耶稣怎么回答你？他说我不记得了。耶稣说我不记得了。这个就是这样子这个故事。
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
Well done. Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you.
这个真的好，谢谢。